Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunters are the playbook, breaking down the Jags versus the Browns. Now let's look at the Jaguars in this game offensively. You have to like what you see out of Maurice Jones-Drew, all pro season so far. This guy is carrying that team offensively. Now let's talk about Blaine Gabbert and what he can do to keep the Browns from stacking the box. The Browns have a weak spot at the safety position. TJ Ward is going to be out with injury. They have Usama Young back there. I look at the fact that they can have a huge advantage right here with Mercedes Lewis stretching the middle of that field, or even if you line them up on the flanks, you're going to draw coverage either with an outside linebacker or with a safety. That's where you take advantage. That's how you get the young Gabbert going in this ball game and increase his confidence, because it looks right now that he's struggling right now throwing the football. He has some nice throws against the Colts, but they have to be a little bit more consistent if they're going to get something going in the passing game. Defensively, Rashean Mathis will be out for the season with the injury. Whoever's going to be the next man up out there at corner, I would say cheat a safety over to his side to help protect him until he can prove that he can hold his own out there like Rashean Mathis did for a long time in Jacksonville. So what they can do to stop the Browns is make sure you get pressure on Colt McCoy. The Browns run a lot of their passing plays off of timing. The Rams were able to disrupt the timing of the Browns. That is what the Jags have to do, and I have full confidence in the Jaguars front seven, who's been playing solid this season. Tyson Alualu on the interior is another big matchup. If they can get pressure from the interior against a mobile quarterback like Colt McCoy, watch how the Jaguars be able to contain what the Browns want to do offensively by getting that interior pressure. So I also like the safety play. Lowry is another guy that's been playing solid. So the Jags have some pieces, but it all starts with getting pressure on Colt McCoy. Speaking of McCoy in that Browns offense, you have to like the balance that they used last week. Unfortunately, they had the foul up at the end of the game with the kick. That is out of your control. The Browns played a solid game against a tough defense in the Rams. Now against Jacksonville, they provide a lot of pressure from the interior with Alualu and Knighton. So I look for the Browns to go a little bit more off tackle. They're going to run a lot more plays going off tackle. Chris Abanaya had a great day last week, so look for him to have some success. They're going to try to keep this thing off tackle on the outside rather than on the interior. Now in the passing game, where you can attack is where Rashean Mathis vacated. So I look for Greg Little to have a field day on whoever's going to be the next guy up. And if they're going to match him up with Cox and company, you want to keep Little on the move. That is the biggest playmaker for the Browns at the receiver position, in my opinion. You also have a solid tight end in Ben Watson, get him the football, and Evan Moore is another guy that does a great job. So the Browns have weapons. It's all about expanding the playbook, stretching the field vertical. That's the reason why teams just play cover 2 and cover 4 and keep everything in front of them. You have to expand the playbook and go vertical. Defensively, you get pressure on Gabbert. You cause a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage. Also, defensive line has to make sure they get their hands up. Gabbert does a lot of passes that are flat line and gets a lot of passes tipped at the line of scrimmage. Plus, if you get pressure early on Blaine Gabbert, he will fold like a tent and he will give you guys a lot of chances to make interceptions. Now let's look at the X factors in this ball game. X factors for the Jacksonville Jaguars has to be Mercedes Lewis. He's going to have a huge role in this game because of the Browns' weaknesses. X factor for the Cleveland Browns has to be head coach Shermer. If he can get this game going, he's the offensive coordinator as well. Stretch this field, guys. Get this thing going vertical. The Browns have a lot of talent, and I'm going with the Cleveland Browns in this game. I like their defensive line against the Jaguars' offensive line. I like the defensive ends in particular. Jabal Sheard should be able to get pressure on Blaine Gabbert. For more NFL previews, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. And listen to the Football Game Plan radio show, which airs Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.